Right. Okay. So if you want to open Excel, we can type Excel here and we can open Excel. So Excel is a spreadsheet. Uh, there are some other softwares also available like Excel. Uh, Example, the Open Office Math, also something like the Excel spreadsheet. So we are mainly using for analyze various types of data. So in Excel environment, you'll find compared to Word document, there are some differences. There are no pages. So you'll have rows and columns. Let me zoom it in so you can see rows and columns. And these individual units we call as a cells. Now, all these cells we can identify using something called as cell references. For example, very first cell, we call it as a A1. That's the column letter and the row number. Second one, we can call it as a A2. So, and this one, we can call it as a D3. So, which cell we are in at the currently, we can see it from this box over here. It's called as a name box, right? So, now the width of these columns and rows can be changed like this using this double arrow. So you can change it if you want it. So if you want to select the entire column, you can just click over the column name, it will select it. And the rows you can select by clicking on the number. And if you want to select some, let's say these for A1 and A2 cells, we can drag it and select it. But let's say if you want to select some cells which are not next to each other, let's say we want to select this one and the C1 to C6 also. So in that case, you need to press and hold the control key and select it. So now you select all these cells. So sometime we need to do it like this. So using by pressing the control key. So if you want to select some scenario, if you want to select the entire worksheet, so we call this as a worksheet. So you can click over here, it will select the entire worksheet. So now in this cells, we call it as cells. To move it and navigate in a cells, we can use a name box. We can just type which cell we want to go and press enter and it will go. So for example, let's say we want to go into the D41. So we can type D41 and press enter and it will go to D41. Right? So if I want to come back into A1, so I can press A1 and press enter, I be in A1. So usually when you are working on this one, to move from one cell to other cell, we can always rely on the tab key. But if you want to move from an opposite direction, shift and tab will work. So going to next row, we can always use the enter key. And going to next cells, we can always use the tab key. Opposite direction, shift and tab we can use. So then next to the name box, there's another one called formula bar. So formula bars, we can write formulas. For example, let's say, I'll resize this one. So let's say I have some numbers here, 10. So tab, next one, 20. So again, some other numbers, 20, and then next one is 30. Again, something else, let's say 20, tab next one is 10, so something like this. So let's say I want to do some calculation. Let's say I want to do some basic addition. So always I can have something called as formula. Now all the formulas in Excel start with the equal sign. Then I want to add these two numbers. So I can do it like this also. I can just say 10 plus and 20. And if I press enter, it will give the result. But let's say I want to do the same for the other numbers. I want to add it. Then I need to write the equation again and again. So rather than doing this, what I can do is I can put an equal sign here. And then we know this cell is A1. So I can write A1 plus this cell is B1. So I can say B1 and press enter. So you get the result. Then in Excel, after putting the equation, you can see the formula above, you can see the equation. So after putting the equation, we can copy this equation and select the rest of the cells, and we can just paste it. So it will do the calculation for me. So that's the advantage rather than using actual values. When you use the cell referencing, you can use this equation. Now, if you want to see any place in an equation, what you do is you usually double click. You can see the equation. When you press the escape key, you can escape it. So first one, A1, B2. Sorry, let me escape. The first one, so you can see it's A1, B2. Second one, A2, B2. Third one, A3, B3. So now you see, when you copy paste the equation values automatically incremented, right? So you can do various types of operations here, not only addition. You can do the multiplication. So let's say if I want to do the multiplication for the same numbers, so I can just click and have these numbers A1. So I can use the asterisk signs to do the multiplication. And this is the multiplication. Then I can copy paste, but there's an easier method. I can drag it also like this. So let's say I want to do the division. So I can do it in the same way, A1. So this is the division symbol, and this, and press enter. Then I can just double click on this small square as a shortcut. So I will get the values. Right? So Excel, rather than using the actual values, we use cell referencing. Right? So when we add something into equation, it will automatically increment the value one by one.